At that moment, Delius stood enraged, beginning to grit his teeth and clench his fists as he stood to his feet. Those bastards. They can't be serious. My people haven't done anything to them. We're not planning on destroying anyone. We don't view ourselves as gods. We're just innocent people, trying to live our lives. Why? Why would they try to kill us? Just for power? Is that all this is really about? They want our strength, and that's enough for them? Fine then. If they want our strength, then they'll get it, Delia said as he turned and suddenly began walking towards the doorway. Asa quickly jumped to her feet, running in between Delius and the door. No, Delius, stop! Asa shouted, pressing her hands against his chest, trying to stop his movement. Delius, of course, could have easily pressed past, but, not wanting to hurt Asa, acquiesced and stopped. Move out of the way, Asa. No, Delius, listen. I know how you must feel right now, but just charging off won't do anything. You need a plan. You're not dealing with a single individual. You're dealing with the entire government. And while you are powerful, just blindly attacking one place or some group isn't going to do anything. And what you need is a plan, Asa said, as a smile began to arise on her face. And I think I've got one, she said as she let out a small chuckle. Oh, this is gonna be good. The current Grand Administrator, the person in control of our government at this point in time, the elected official in charge, is the one who cast the order, made all the choices. And right now, she's sitting pretty, thinking that everything's going her way. But you and me are about to throw a wrecking ball right through her plans, and I know exactly how to do it. At that point, Asa began to explain the intricate plan that she came up with. At first, Delius didn't understand, but after a short chat, it all started to make sense to him in a strange sort of way. Strategy and tactics weren't something he was especially familiar with, but the concepts began to dawn on him. And according to Asa's plan, they had everything that they'd possibly need. After that, another 24 hours passed. It was the following day, and as scheduled, the president, Loda, Melphis, was about to give an address to the people. She had already arrived at Orgus Hall, the place where the elected government official would usually give large-scale speeches for the people, at which most news organizations would be in attendance, as well as countless others, hoping to hear the ongoings of government operations, aspirations, and such. There, a rather beautiful-looking woman with long brown hair flitted through a holographic data device, going over the speech she was intending to give, making sure that she had it all down packed. As a soldier entered the room, Madam Administrator, everything's prepared. All of the people are waiting outside for your speech. It's time. Of course, the woman said as she tucked away the data device, turning it off and sticking it in her pocket, as she stood from the comfy chair she was sitting in and began making her way out of the door past the soldier who had given her the notice. Today is a great day for our people, she said as she began to make her way through the halls towards the exit. Today I announce our plans and the greatest movement of our people in centuries. Something that will rock the foundations of this entire system. I'll go down in history as the greatest representative this planet has ever known. It'll be legendary, she said with a smile, as she exited the front doors to an immense gathering of countless thousands of individuals outside of the hall hoping to hear the speech. Countless military individuals, many of which were the enhanced soldiers, individuals that had been infused with the cells taken from Delius, and as such, stood on a tier all their own. As she stepped up to the podium beyond them, all of them standing in formation behind her as they saluted the Grand Administrator, and the rambling of the crowd began to die down as she approached the podium and finally began to speak. Hello, my beloved citizens. Though I have wanted to talk to you for a great deal of time, the secrecy of our plans was of paramount importance to ensure no negative intervention until such time as we were sure that we could assure the safety of all of you fine people, the citizens of my home, as well as your own. It was 2 years ago, nearly down to the day, that we first discovered that we stand apart from all of the other races that inhabit this system, that we ourselves are descendant from the same blood as the gods that rule over the core, Hagara. And it was in this realization that the gods turned on us. They feared us, feared what we could become, and in that fear revealed their true nature, that of simple monsters, unwilling to share their greatness with us. They elected instead to plan our destruction. However, their plans were circumvented, and we stand here today victorious. As the dawning of a new age begins, the soldiers who have undergone our patented procedure have helped us put an end to the war that strifed us, the conflict that endangered the lives of our people. But as we are descendant from the same blood as the gods themselves, it is unlikely that the other planets in the system will ever truly accept us from this point forward. Already there are talks and whispers of uprising against us, war waged in fear of what we could become. So not only are we feared by the gods for what we might be, but even our fellow systems, the other planets within it, fear us, for they know now what we truly are. The danger to my people is great, and thus our response should be just as great, one to ensure the safety, security, and happiness of our people. And so, in order to assure this, our next plan of action is to be emphatic and unrelenting. The last of our procedural materials has been readied, prepared for a new swath of soldiers to be given the strength of the gods, infused with their essence and strength, their unrelenting durability. This last push will give us all that we need once the soldiers have been selected and have adapted to the process. Our plan is to launch an invasion upon the core world itself. There, we will capture the genocidal race that desires our destruction, and from them, gain the strength necessary to sustain and protect our world, our people, our children. They may be strong, but our numbers are great, our resources without question. And in this conflict, I have no doubt that the strength of our people will prevail and see us through this dangerous point in our time. And soon enough, a new order will arise within this system, one of stability, harmony, and peace, overseen by us, not backwards, ancient gods who believe we should be destroyed, or swaths of other races, fearing our power, but us, a reasonable, enlightened people, who can then rule over this system with justice and honor as its true and rightful possessors. The plans are already in motion. Soon, we will see a glorious new age in which the power and security of our race is beyond question. Well, I really do hate to interrupt your speech, Delius's voice echoed out from what seemed like everywhere, interrupting the High Administrator's speech as everyone looked around, searching for where exactly this voice was coming from.